doing today? I hope you're doing amazing. So we're back and we're editing on Echoes of the Cosmic Veil. We're all the way to chapter 16. We have just had a pretty freaking good amount of wipeouts on our party. So real quick, I'm going to get chat up, make sure we actually have a stream going on, which is always a good idea. And then we'll move forward, read through and fix a few things on chapter 16. I'm probably going to add this weekend in the last chapter a few more details, some more destruction to just actually more details. That's it. I'm not going to get into it exactly, but I think we could improve some of it a little bit. Let's see. Okay, we do have a stream up. That's a good sign. Let me have chat up real quick. That's even a better sign. Good morning, by the way. You guys are all freaking amazing and awesome. I hope you're having a kick butt start to your weekend, or the end of the week at least. You know what I mean? Let's do this. As we sat, gathering our breath and composing ourselves, I looked over to see Sarah. Sarah sat with Zach's body laid out before her, tears running down her face as she tried again and again to revive Zach. We're going to add by the way, it's 5 a.m. so I'm pseudo awake right now. Just letting you guys know as a heads up. She tried pouring healing energy into you know what? Let's leave it how I had it. I don't know why I thought I was going to change it and make it better. When I started messing with it, I realized I was about to nuke the shit out of that. Okay, so let's go back. Let me wake up. Let me take one drink of coffee before we just move forward. I realize I might want to be a little more awake for 1 second. But you guys are amazing. I will be there. Okay. As we sat, gathering our breath and composing ourselves, I looked over to see Sarah. Sarah sat with Zach's body laid out before her, tears running down her face as she tried again and again to revive Zach. Yeah, I think that's all we have to say. Despite her desperate attempts, surging killing... Oh, see, I had it right after. I need to really read ahead before we do choices sometimes. Despite her desperate attempts at surging healing energies into him, Zach was dead. As time passed, a look of hatred... Is that right? Yeah, I think so. Slowly sat in. Then she looked right at me, saying, "Sam, we did this. The only thing Zach and I wanted was each other. Then you came along. Do we like came along or came in? Came along with your promises of wealth, and I was a fool. I believed you and convinced Zach it would be what was best for our future. Now he's dead." Then she simply looked away and sat whimpering while she rocked back and forth, running her fingers through Zach's bloody hair. Akio walked over to me saying, "Look, Sam, things have gone bad, but no one could have seen what happened coming." I think that's okay. "I should have seen it coming, though. I knew Eric had used security robots to protect himself from something on board the station. Brandon and Toby seemed to be trying to keep it together and getting a full grasp of what had just happened to our friend. The only people that seemed unfazed were me and Orion, likely because of their experiences with loss during their service. Deep down, I would have never thought it would go so bad so quickly." Do we want so bad or so badly? So badly, so quickly. I think it's badly, so quickly. Right? Okay. Good. Hope somebody agrees. It keeps popping out of chat, guys. That's why I keep on looking over and wondering what I can do about that, but whatever. I looked around worrying, still worried. Let's go. Still. I think it's going to be still worried about trolls. There was no sign of them aboard the prison hook. The prison hooks. But there was no sign of them aboard the prison hook. The prison hook systems were still shut off from when Eric had shut them down before leaving the ship. Wanting to get my mind off of what had occurred, I thought back to what I'd seen in Eric's memory files. The control room was just down the corridor and through one of the crew's living quarters sections. Akio, it's this way. I need to get the systems back online, I explained. Akio agreed as he motioned Bruno, Kyoto, Mio, and Salvador to come, saying, "Your friends will be fine here. They should take care of Sarah." As we moved down the corridor and into the living quarters, bodies of the crew members became more and more common. Some looked as if they had just been frantically trying to save themselves as they expired. Some seemed to have just sat where they were. Let me think what we're doing here. Now let me find where we are. Okay, some seem to be exactly as they were, as if they just sat there until they perished. As Eric shut off the life support. Let's do this ship. Okay, let's see if that's fixed. Some seem to be exactly as they were, as if they just sat there until they perished, as Eric shut off the ship systems, including the life support. At the security door, we became more serious, especially not knowing if anything could be on the other side. I directly linked into the system as the others drew their weapons and took aim at the doorway. It took only seconds to override the lockout and get the door open. Finally, we were in the control room, and I'd be able to get the systems back online. We entered cautiously, not knowing what could be in waiting for us. We can get rid of that. We entered cautiously, not knowing what could be waiting for us. The bodies of two men still at the station where Eric left them. It seemed Eric had killed the two men at the control station before he hacked into the system to shut everything down and kill the rest of the crew. I sat down at the control station and linked into it. I had partial recollection of the shit of the systems. Do I want? I think we know that it's the ship systems. I had partial recollection of the systems from Eric's memories, making navigating the ship systems have an instinctual feel to it. Something was strange about the system. It was as if there was an invisible doorman opening the way for me. I turned back on the power to all the normal systems, including lights, doors, and life support. Then I worked to verify the location of Amelia Curran's stasis chamber. It was exactly where I had remembered from Eric's memories. I looked through the other ship systems one by one, restoring flight controls and pulling all the navigation files. Then decided to look into the status of the stasis other stasis pods, right? Okay. Then decided. Okay, I think we have this. Then decided to look into the status of the other stasis pods. All of them were shut down except Amelia's. It seemed Eric. I don't think we need that. It seemed Eric had not only killed the entire crew, but all of the prisoners except one. But why? I knew Eric had visited her many times before the. I don't think we need that, but why? And I don't think it would be a question, honestly. We've covered that well enough that we actually backstoried it during our revisions so well that that doesn't make any sense. Okay, I knew Eric had visited her many times from the memories on the AI, but most of the details had been erased. That giant gap left me with little to go on. I then tried pulling Amelia's prisoner files, but it too had been erased. I then checked through the ship's security systems, making sure we would not have any more surprises as we made our way to the prisoner holding section. Try to think if that's the best way to say it. The prisoner holding section might not be the best way. I'll probably think about that, and that could change this weekend, this part right there of the ship. Thankfully, it appeared clear. I disconnected from the system and told Akio, "It's this way, and it looks like we're alone." Akio smiled. Thank God something is finally going our way. We made our way down the corridor, walking past the occasional cluster of crew members' bodies, finally making it to the stasis chamber. We soon were standing before Amelia Curran, imprisoned. Okay, that's where we're at. We absolutely will be at chapter frickin' 17 on Monday, guys. I will look through everything we have done. If there are things that can be fixed or improved, I am improving them. In all honesty, we do get a lot done at 5 a.m., but it's 5 a.m. And so sometimes I like to later in the day look it back over and make sure we actually did what we think we did. Sometimes I find additional things that could be improved. Sometimes I find glaring mistakes. But overall, I will take a little bit of time this weekend and fix this up even more. I want to thank you guys for just being amazing, hanging out today, and just hope you have an epic rest of your day. I'll be back in just a little bit with, of course, trend reports and stuff. Stay epic, peace, and very best wishes.